Did you know that there are people who claim that the government, amongst other agencies, use outworldly technology in order to make some people miserable? It is said that this technology is used on victims of gang stalking. If you do not know what gang stalking is, let me tell you that it's a phenomenon that I personally went through, which consists of people actually following you and harassing you in ways that are insidious and underhanded and are executed so well that a person can be harassed in plain sight. However, no one else will notice but the target. In this video, we're talking about that technology. My name is Efren Rodriguez, and here we're about to check out the second part of our series of mind control technology supposedly used in gang stalking operations. Here we go. We are on page 16 of Dr. Bailey's mind control PowerPoint presentation. What you see on the screen is the Dazer laser, supposedly, and it says the following. Of all the senses you use on the battlefield, vision is probably the most important. So, disrupting that can turn the tide in war, one of the most effective sensory weapons on the market right now is the Dazer laser, made by Laser Energetics, using a green laser source that emits both a continuous and pulsed wave. The range on the unit can be adjusted to as far as 2,400 meters. One shot of the laser targeted at the eye area can completely incapacitate the victim for several minutes, long enough for them to be subdued non-lethally. Alright, so let's go online and see what the Dazer laser is. The link took us to Laser Energetics, and the link literally took me to a WordPress blog. It's literally a blog that took me instead to the health benefits of cannabis oil. And at the top, there is a link that says laserenergetics.com. And it took me again to the site of cannabis oil. So now we can see that the link to Laser Energetics, is completely fabricated. So again, we see another false claim made by the supposed doctor. Now here on our next page, we have an image of a cannon, and it says this is supposedly its name. It's a distributed sound and light array debilitator. So we are gonna screenshot that image, and I'm gonna use Google to do an image search. We're using Google Lens, and we have a selection of websites. Let's use the National Defense Magazine. Actually, let's use the Wired website. So the Wired didn't deliver any significant results. So that's apparently a non-lethal weapon. Mr. Bailey tells us that it's a distributed sound and light array debilitator. And this is what Dr. Bailey says. The most effective sensory weapons are the ones that can engage and disorient multiple methods of input as well. Colloquially known as the puke ray, the distributed sound and light array debilitator generates a sound and light in a specific sequence designed to overload the brain's processors, generating feelings of unease and discomfort. Prolonged exposure can result in even more unpleasant effects, including nausea and vomiting. Some scientists are even working towards producing a portable version of the size of a flashlight that can be used on an individual basis. So let's think about this logically. Do you really think that this huge thing can be turned into a flashlight? This sounds to me like bullshit. Look, it says some scientists are even working towards producing a portable version of the size of a flashlight that can be used on an individual basis. This within itself feels to me like preparing the target's mind for gang stalking. It just seems like it. And look, let's see what this is. Let's type in the name and let's see what it actually results in. So the page is missing. Distributed sound and light array debilitator. Let's see what it does. I mean, it is called a puke ray. So let me tell you something. Look at how it's developed by scientists. Look at how it's military. Do you really think that this type of technology is going to be given by random people on the street? Fuck no. And notice that some scientists, and even word, the size of a flashlight, that has no backup information. Now we're moving on the next one. Page 20. Pulsed energy projectiles. And why the fuck is there like the image of a fucking tank? And look at that as like a 3D model. It's not even like a real model of like a weapon or anything. And look what it says. It already started absurd. The sensory organ with the largest active area in the body is, of course, the sense of touch. The sense of touch is not a sensory organ. The skin is the sensory organ, not the sense of touch. That is badly written. A doctor wouldn't write that. The human body has millions of individual nerves that are used to transmit sensory data to the brain. And a new experimental weapon from the US government aims to really get them going. That sentence is just not something that a doctor would write. Pulsed energy projectiles are specifically modulated laser. That has to be plural. That doesn't even make sense from a grammatical standpoint. That generates a burst of expanding plasma when they hit a solid object. That plasma in turn emits an electromagnetic pulse that causes immediate searing pain to the nerve cells all over the target's body. They're not in use yet, but research has been very promising. Well, yeah, research is promising on every single one of these weapons. Listen, if there would be already a flashlight-sized puke ray, we would know, because cops would be using those on people that are trying to run away from the cops when they get arrested or stopped, right? We would know about them already. They wouldn't be using those violent fucking electric things. Next one, Medusa. And notice, there is another 3D rendering of a Medusa that looks like a set of Lego bricks put on the back of it. Let's see what the Medusa is. One of the most interesting sensory weapons on the market uses audio to disorient and confuse targets, but it skips the ear entirely. Medusa, a product of the Sierra Nevada Corporation, doesn't create sound in a conventional way. Instead, it uses pulses of microwave radiation to generate shockwaves inside the skull that are detected by the ears. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. Then it's contradicting itself. How can it produce a fucking microwave pulse that emits radiation that skips the ears entirely, however, are detected by the ears from within? That makes no fucking sense. So earplugs won't help you at all. It can generate painful white noise and even recognizable speech that sounds like it's coming from the inside of your brain. Scary stuff. Do you really think that a doctor would put scary stuff on a PowerPoint presentation that he is demonstrating to people? No. Fuck no. It's so stupid. Hey there, welcome to The Mind's Eye, previously known as the GangStalking Playbook. In this channel, we talk about the mind, and I share with you techniques on how to use your mind's eye in order to be the best version of yourself. If you are new here, you probably have no idea who I am and have absolutely no reason to believe anything that I say, which is fair, I understand. However, I challenge you to give my techniques an honest try. Try the programming. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain when the programming works for you. Subscribe, give me a like, write me a comment, or share with your loved one. I will be eternally grateful to you. Now, we're going back to the video. So stupid. If you are a targeted individual, just know that the voices inside your head are yours. I'm gonna tell you how to control them right now. In your head, when a voice is talking, you image the face and you attribute it to the voice. Now, make the face say, "Finger bang my pussy daddy." And then the voice that is coming from Medusa is gonna say, "Finger bang my pussy daddy." It's that simple. Or imagine your own face and then attribute the mouth of your own face to the voice in your imagination, in your mind's eye. And you're gonna see that the voice will move that the voice will say what you make it say via the imaginary mouth. Give it a shot. If you're a target, just know that this is all bullshit. Do you really think that a doctor would put scary stuff on a PowerPoint presentation? No. Okay, now we're on the next one. It says, the mind has no firewall. Army article on psychotronic weapons. Primary. That is what it says. So, this is what it says. The human body, much like a computer, contains a myriad data processors. Bad grammar, no doctor would write that. They include, but are not limited to, the chemical electrical activity of the brain, heart, and peripheral nervous system. The signals sent from the cortex region of the brain to the other parts of the body, the tiny hair cells in the inner ear that process auditory signals, and the light-sensitive retina and cornea of the eye that process visual activity. We are on the threshold of an era in which these data processors of the human body may be manipulated or debilitated. Examples of unplanned attacks on the body's data processing capability are well documented. Strobe lights have been known to cause epileptic seizures. Not long ago in Japan, children watching television cartoons were subjected to pulsating lights that caused seizures in some and made others very sick. I feel like this is trying to prepare targets to the headlights and to the turn signals. You know what I mean? So we're going to the link, and the link took me to another WordPress website. And there is a link to the so-called website. So now we're going on the link that says click here, and it took me to the website Memory Hole. Now it says page not found. So look, let's analyze here. The Memory Hole is a lifestyle blog. As you can clearly see. Do you really think that a lifestyle blog is gonna talk about fucking psychotronic weapons? And look, we already caught this in a lie, because apparently that is immediately from an army article. But there is nothing that takes us to the army article, and not even the army website. I'm sure that the website exists, but notice that it's not taking us there. And look, notice how there has always been theories about one thing and about another, and the things never materialize. Just like with the video game for Nintendo 64, Earthbound, the one for Nintendo 64 that never came out. I was so sad because I wanted to play that video game so much. Why is everything via links? Like it should have screenshotted, or should have a picture of the actual article, not just like random websites. Anyone can do one of these PowerPoint presentations written by a doctor. We are gonna actually study the doctor, by the way. We're gonna see his background. So now we are going on page 26 and talks about types of psychotronic weapons. Let's see. A psychotronic generator produces a powerful electromagnetic emanation capable of being sent to telephone lines, TV, radio networks, supply pipes, and incandescent lamps, headlights, supposedly. An autonomous generator is a device that operates at the 10 to 150 hertz band. At the 10 and 20 hertz band, which one? Y0 period. It forms an infrasonic oscillation that is destructive to all living creatures. A nervous system generator. No. How is something designed to paralyze the central nervous system is going to be called the nervous system generator? No engineer is going to name their fucking central nervous system paralyzer is nervous system generator. The name makes no sense. And it says, a nervous system generator is designed to paralyze the central nervous systems of insects, which could have the same applicability to humans. So the name is all wrong. Bullshit. The next one. Ultrasound emanation devices. Using ultrasound emanations are capable of carrying out bloodless internal operations without leaving mark on the skin. They can also be used to kill people from a distance. Again, no sources. Noiseless cassettes. Noiseless cassettes is the ability to place infra-low frequency voice patterns over music. Patterns that are detected by the subconscious. These messages are then stored in the person's subconscious mind, which they may later act upon. So this reminds me of the time when gangstalkers, changed my perception of a song that was playing at the gym. I don't remember exactly which song it was because I never paid attention to it. But it sounded like it said the F-A-G word. I remember that when that part of the song played, I was at the gym and I was working out. Someone yelled, "Fag!" And then I heard a loud bang. And after that, my mind began interpreting that part of the song as the F-A-G word. But it is not that there was some type of voice pattern over the music. If you read this before understanding that gangstalking is all psychological, you would believe this because that's what it feels like. Now we're moving on to the next. It says, Michigan law against electromagnetic devices. House Bill 4513 would amend the Penal Code to define harmful electronic or electromagnetic device as a device designed to emit or radiate an electronic or electromagnetic pulse or signal or microwave intended to cause harm to others or cause damage to destroy or disrupt any electronic or telecommunication system or device, including a computer or computer network. The bill would also include harmful electronic or electromagnetic device in the definition of imitation harmful substance or device. So this is why every type of electronic device that you own says they're RF something, because a television, a microwave, any of those can have radiation. even a Nintendo Switch. And there is a possibility of these items to interfere with signals of other devices, of telecommunications. That would make the device illegal. So a microwave is intended to like heat food. However, if a microwave is badly designed and it harms people, it is still going to be out of the market until it is proven that it can harm people. These devices have always existed. So listen how it says here. The bill would also include a harmful electronic or electromagnetic device in the definition of imitation harmful substance or device. What does it even mean? It doesn't say that the bill includes it. It says that it would also include it. So now we are actually reading the Michigan Penal Code, and it doesn't say anything about like substance. An imitation harmful substance or device. There's none of that information in here. Zero. Notice how we keep finding all of these clues that indicates that someone, obviously not a doctor, put this together. So now we are going to page 30, and it says the Nuremberg Code opposes all forms of human experiments. The state of Missouri has a law against involuntary chipping or implanting of a human. Many countries have laws against human experimentation and the use of electromagnetic devices to control a person, either their mind or their bodies. So this is just pointing the fact that there is a law against it. So what? So now we are checking out what the actual Nuremberg Code is, and it says the Nuremberg Military Tribunal's decision in the case of the United States versus Karl Brandt, ETAL, includes what is now called the Nuremberg Code, a 10-point statement delimiting permissible medical experimentation on human subjects. According to this statement, humane experimentation is justified only if it results benefit society and it is carried out in accord with basic principles that satisfy moral, ethical, and legal concepts. And we're just going to go over a little bit. The first one, it says involuntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. 2, the experiment should be such as to yield fruitful results for the good of society. 3, the experiment should be so designed and based on the results of animal experimentation. 4, the experiment should also be conducted to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. 5, no experiment should be conducted where there is a prior reason to believe that death or disabling injury will occur. 6, the degree of risk to be taken should never exceed that determined by the humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. 7, proper preparations should be made and adequate facilities provided to protect the experimental subject against even remote possibilities of injury, disability, or death. 8, the experiment should be conducted only by scientifically qualified persons. 9, during the course of the experiment, the human subject should be at liberty to bring the experiment to an end if he has reached the physical or mental state where continuation of the experiment seems to be impossible. 10, during the course of the experiment, the scientist in charge must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he has probable cause to believe that the exercise of the good faith, superior skills, and careful judgment required by him, that a continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury. Cool. So, end of the series, we're going to investigate who Dr. Bailey is. And as of right now, this Dr. Bailey is not much of a doctor, isn't he? The point of this series of videos is to tell you that if you're a target or if you believe everything that you hear online, regardless of how legitimate they might seem at plain sight, just know that there is so much more behind it, and that you should never believe anything that is this dramatic without finding enough proof that it exists. If you're a target, just know that all of this shit is not real. It isn't. And this series of videos is to help targets or not understand that all of this shit about psychotronic, direct energy weapons is all fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit. Alright? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And on the next one, we're going to continue on page 31 of Bailey's Mind Control. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Dr. Mapasa.